Hi and welcome to this new timeless reading. So we're going to take a look at what frequencies available for us to decode and activate. So in 3 cards, the first one is the frequency itself. The second one is what we can release for it to land and anchor in the best way possible. And the third card is advice on how to go about it. So let's take a look at the frequency itself. And we have the King of Pentacles, and this came up in a reading not so long ago, and it's the Avatar of Abundance, and what I'm hearing is Avatar of Abundance 2.0, and it's the what I'm sensing is the mindset is not only just downloaded like we looked at previously, it's on the verge of activating, and the sense I have is that we now feel worthy to step into it, a lot more worthy than a few days, weeks ago. And it's also acknowledging that we got ourselves there, and in a sense feeling self-reliant and proud of ourselves, and therefore giving ourselves full permission to access that new energy. And the Avatar of Abundance is this new way of receiving everything we need in this life experience, and it won't come from the way we've been conditioned into previously. It comes from a soul-led way of almost like feeling over being, but also in resonance with the soul. So it's not feeling like any which other whim of your ego, I want this, they should do that, and trying to control things. It's more like expansive feelings that we have that take us in a direction that actually will help us expand and be in a beneficial position for others as well and contribute. So what can we release from our fields in order for this to happen even in the best way possible? And it's the Seven of Pentacles, and I'm not sensing as much a release as this came up in the previous reading also, and it's acknowledging that you have everything it takes already inside of you and on the verge of activating. So it's not any efforting, pushing, or forcing that will make that happen. It's pretty much just letting it almost like blossom, it feels like, as you acknowledge that things will come from a different source than they did previously. It kind of touches something within as you kind of like anchor this sensation or let it happen, and it activates aspects of yourself that actually make this process, kickstart the process, let it happen. And it's almost an example I could give is in the previous way of being, you had to work so hard to get your basic needs met, and that was the only way. And I dare you try and do something different, because the people around you would probably judge, maybe take you down, and not believe that you could be doing things differently. And also be discreet about it if this is happening for you. Like just let things kind of like happen and start rolling before you go and tell anyone about this process that you kind of like sense happening. Let it like ripen. But the more you feel that there has to be another way, and you start accessing avenues within of doing things differently, it will eventually build upon itself. And what I said in a previous reading is this one would be the main inner skill or quality that you have within, and then as this one activates, there's a ripple effect with all the other elements you need. So it's pretty much just a start, and the momentum will guide you. And now advice on how to go about this would be the Queen of Wands. And in the Queen of Wands, what I'm seeing is that in a sense, what I'm hearing is you've already gone down that route, and I'm not necessarily feeling like in this life, and it might be not necessarily even a past life, but it's what you've been dreaming and envisioning yourself to be and become in the physical. Like almost like since a child, like we envision ourselves like doing things and life being a certain way, and it takes a million years for this to like even touch ground, because the biggest part of our incarnations, for most of us, we do things we're not that interested in, and it's very kind of like hard to do anything different, because that's the circumstances you're dealing with in order to take care of your needs and fit in at some point, if that's a priority as well, and all of that. But deep down, you know how to go about it, and how you know that it's right is how anchored and centered it makes you feel with the want here. And it brings you towards the blossoming, let's say, or blooming of your inner self. And it feels much more harmonious, and the biggest indicator that you're on the right path about it is the lifting off of pressure, what I'm feeling. So it's kind of like you can use guidance in this way, that in one direction you feel extremely pressured, and when you envision and direct your energy in a different direction, there is no pressure. And it's also in a sustainable fashion. So yeah, I hope this resonated, and I wish you the best.